Much, Mr. Chair.
The Honourable the Member for Mount Pearl Southlands.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and glad to be able to stand this House once again tonight and speak to the bill, and of course, it being a money bill, I guess to speak to the budget in general. And you know, Mr. Chair, where do I start? There's so many areas I could touch on. There are so many. But I just want to talk about seniors for a moment. I want to talk about seniors. I want to talk about, I'll just use an example of a senior's home, not in my district, in the district of Mount Pearl North, but it's in Mount Pearl. And I have a family member there. It's called Hillcrest. Beautiful home. And some of the seniors there stay in the home. Well, they all stay in the home, but some of them have the ability to get out, and some don't. Some stay in the home all the time, and others, they have the ability to get out and they go to the seniors functions that the Mount Pearl Seniors Independence would have, or they go to church and they do different things. And a lot of those seniors, the majority of them, are in what they call subsidized accommodations. And basically, with the subsidized accommodations, these are people that the only income they have is their OAS, CPP, and perhaps a supplement. So their income is very, very low. And you know, these people are living in that particular facility, and by the time they pay their rent, when they pay their rent, if you will,
Order, please. Order,
home,
please.
all that remains is $150. That's how it works. In all of the seniors' homes, all the seniors like that are in these homes, they have $150 a month. That's what's left over for everything. Now, that has to deal with personal toiletry issues. You know, if they wanted to actually get the newspaper, for a lot of the ladies there, maybe once a month or once every couple of months, they'll get the hairdresser comes into the home and they get their hair done. And you know, if they want a few treats or whatever, because yes, there is food provided, but there's no like treats or snacks or nothing like that. So if they want a few little things like that, they got $150 a month. Now that's what they got to live on. Now some of those, like I said, they probably go to the Mount Pearl Seniors Independence and you know, for a game of cards or go to church or whatever. And how do they get there? In a lot of cases they have to use a taxi. Now I talked about the last time I was up, I spoke about that taxi fares are going to go up because of the impacts of this budget. That's going to cut into their $150. Then we're going to have issues now with the non-prescription drugs that someone talked about earlier. About the fact that they might need, I think the member from Cape St. Francis talked about a lady who gets a vitamin B shot, is it, or something? Or what is a gentleman? But it doesn't matter, male or female. Vitamin B shot that used to be covered, now that's going to cost him. So, you know, these people are into the same type of issue with some of these non-prescription things that used to be covered, and now that's not covered. So that's coming out of their, think about it now, $150 a month for everything. And that's coming out of that. And the increased taxi fees are coming out of that. And then, I mean, and that's all they got to live on. And somehow, you know, you talk about a society is judged by the way we treat our most vulnerable people. You know? And when you think about the seniors in our province who've given their whole lives, many of them, and now they're in their golden years, we'll say. They're in their golden years, and they're living in you know, whether it be a senior's home or whatever the case might be, or in their own home, and all they're getting is a lousy $150 a month by the time. Now we're going to cut into that. And I got to be honest with you, there's something wrong with that picture. I don't care what way you look at it, nobody can tell me that that's right. Nobody can tell me, there's not a member in this House can tell me that that is the right thing to do. And if there is, I challenge the member, whoever it is, to stand up in this house and tell me that that's the right thing to do to our seniors. I'd love to see someone. I asked them to do it. I bet you there won't be one member who will stand up and say that's the right thing to do. Do you know why, Mr. Chair? Because it's the wrong thing to do. That's why. It's the wrong thing to do. And these are some of the things. These are some of the things that we're doing in this budget that are having such a negative impact on people. And it's absolutely shameful. I have to say it's absolutely shameful that we're doing this day and age. We know we're in a financial crunch, but my goodness, you know, we're talking about people with the denture program. That's another one. I can remember at the time when under the former administration where they had to scale back the program, and at the time the then opposition were talking about a half set of teeth, and it was all a big, you know, all a big joke, right? Oh, you're only got a half set of teeth, half set of dentures, and dignity, and talking about dignity. So we cured that in this budget because we're going to give them no teeth at all. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to give them any teeth. Instead of half set, we're going to give them none. Problem solved. Give them no teeth. You know, seriously. And I know people could look at that and laugh at it, but it's not funny. It's not funny. It's really not funny. You know, that's somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother, somebody's grandfather. Could be your grandmother, your grandfather. It really could. And there's something, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. There's something wrong with that picture. And I don't know about any member of this House, but when I signed on and raised my hand to take on this job, I didn't sign up to go attacking seniors. Now, I can tell you that. I didn't. And I know that nobody else did either. And I've said before that I really believe that nobody has intended for some of these things that happen. It's not done because you want to hurt seniors. I'm not suggesting that. That would only be political rhetoric. And I'm not interested. No, I say to the member for Lab West, it might sound like it's not meant to. I say to the member of Lab West, I know that you don't want to hurt seniors. I know you don't. And I'm not suggesting that you do. I know that you don't. But these are some of the consequences of this budget. It may not have been intended. Maybe it was overlooked or something. I don't know. But I know that there's no way that it could have been intended. And I don't believe that you support it. I don't believe anybody in this House supports it. But yet we're doing it anyway. That's the problem. See, on the one hand, I don't believe you support it. But on the other hand, I know we don't support it, then why are we doing it anyway? That's the problem. Why can't we make a few amendments? Why can't we make a few amendments? That's all. That's all we've been asking this whole budget. That's all I ever asked. Even when I was on that side. That's all I asked. Make some amendments. Make some amendments. And I said to the member for Lab West, the only one he asked, no, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. And Mr. Chair.
I remind the honourable member to direct his comments to the chair, please. Thank you.
Because you made some amendments to the levy, but you only made some amendments to some people in the levy.
Order, please.
Never made
Order,
any
please.
Amendments for any. Most of my constituents benefited nothing from that levy announcement, Mr. Chair. I can tell you that. Most of my constituents benefited zero from that. There were people that did benefit, and I'm glad they benefited. But there was an awful lot of people who did, and a lot of my constituents who didn't. And it still doesn't address the cumulative impact on everybody. It does not address it all. It does not address it all. And there's other issues there around education as well that's not addressed. That are non-money issues. They're not even money issues. These education
Order, please. Order, please. Order, please.
Money issues.
Order, please. I remind everybody that the honourable member has the floor, and I certainly respect all honourable members here to show respect. And I'd ask the honourable member again to direct his comments to the chair, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate your protection from the member from Lab West. I really appreciate it. I know he's getting a little hot under the collar because he knows what I'm saying is right, and it's really getting to him. Because I know that he knows what I'm saying is right. And it's killing him inside that he has to sit there and support what's going on, because deep down he doesn't support it. Deep down I know he doesn't support it. And that's the problem. That's why we're hitting a nerve. But all I would say, Mr. Chair, before I conclude, and I say to all honourable members, It's still not too late. It is still not too late to make changes. I don't care if you voted for it or not. It's still not too late. There's enough people in that back bench to put the pressure on the front bench to make some changes. The numbers are there. The numbers are there.
Order, please. Order, please. I remind the honourable member that his time has expired. The